Hey, I got something to show you guys. Take a look. It is spring. Happy spring to all of you. Take a look at what we have here for you from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Beautiful spring scent candles here for you. Hand poured with premium fragrance and essential oils. How about this? Our coconut soy wax candles bring fresh, uplifting spring scents to your home. Made with clean, natural ingredients, they're a mindful choice for sensitive spaces and those who love effortless seasonal fragrances. You got to check it out right now. There's the soft bloom and the lemon bar candles, all healthy ingredients, all from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. And if you're a first-time customer, use the promo code InsideEdge20. That's InsideEdge20. Get this for yourself, for your friends, family, everyone. You want a good smelling home, AlleyRoseFragrances.com will make it happen. Again, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Get the new spring candles. And when you order, if you're a first-time customer, InsideEdge20 is the promo code.
All right, and welcome in. It is the Sunday Sports Show right here on the Inside Edge Network. I had to look to make sure I unmuted myself. Ryan knows this. It's a problem. But I'm here. I'm unmuted. You can hear me. That's good. Welcome to the Sunday Sports Show, man. I'm excited for this one. This is going to be a fun one. One of us is going to get, I think, a little bit torn up today on our mock drafts by Ryan Mosser, by the big board man himself. Now I wish I had the graphic of you looking all buff in front of the big. Dang it. Oh, well, whatever.
It's right here, brother.
Hey, there it is. I do have the graphic. It's Ryan Mosser. Listen, I'm Chad Bryan. I'm your host. With me, as always, on the Sunday Sports Show are my guys, man. Ryan Mosser and TK Dandridge. It feels like it's been a really long time since we've done this, man. We took a weekend off for Easter. We spent some time with our families. We regrouped a little bit. We enjoyed some summery type weather, and it snowed immediately 2 days later. So that's Northeast Ohio spring for you, I guess. So I don't know I don't even know what season it is anymore. Is it spring? Is it winter? I have no idea. It doesn't matter. It's April 12th. We are inching. We're not even inching. We're like light speed getting closer to the draft. We are close to either watching Andrew Berry finally figure this thing out. He's going to like get on his bike and be wobbly and then go down the street, and we're all going to go shed a little tear and go, hey, there he goes. That's our guy. He grew up. Or he's going to fall down, skin his knee, break his elbow, and we're all going to go, well, here we go. here comes 2026, 2027 for the Browns. But either way, we're inching closer to the draft. So we got to go over our mock drafts. TK and I went over mine a little bit yesterday. If you caught that on Illegal Formation, TK liked my draft. Ryan says he may or may not like one of our drafts. So I am super excited. I kind of hope it's mine, to be honest with you. I can't wait for that, but we'll find out. It doesn't matter. First of all, Ryan, TK, man, how are you guys doing? I feel like it's been like a month since we've been on together. How are you guys doing?
Dude, I'm doing good, man. After this, go to sleep, and then tomorrow wake up and fly to Florida with the family. So I'm excited to go. I've been working hard, since January. I put in probably 200-300 hours doing all this draft stuff, and I'm excited to take a little break before the draft happens, the event happens, and then we can move on to putting some more work in. So.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's a lot of work. TK, you doing all right since yesterday, man? I saw you yesterday, but it doesn't matter. I'm not any less excited to see you, man.
Doing all right. Season depression is just about over. It's starting to get real nice out, so enjoying myself a little bit more. Just trying to make some more waves with you guys and see what happens, man.
Man, I hear it. Get out and get some sunshine, man. It's I'm looking at the 10-day forecast. We're pretty much in the 60s and 70s. I hope that holds. I mean, we always get one kind of relatively big snow in April. Maybe we can not do that this year. That'd be good.
That'd be great.
If the powers that be are listening, maybe we could avoid that. That'd be great. But we'll see. Before we get into the mock draft stuff, that's coming right up. We want to get to that as soon as possible. But I wanted to tell you, it looks like the Big Ten's reign of terror is over. Denver beat Wisconsin 2-1 to win the NCAA men's hockey championship. I was hoping another Big Ten team was going to slide in and win a national championship, but their reign of terror in the NIL days, they've taken out the SEC, and I don't know if the SEC ever had good hockey programs. I'm not real versed on college hockey, but I did. But Wisconsin lost 2-1 to Denver in the men's hockey championship, and I saw this story from yesterday, and we've all agreed that TK, you said you're not a good golfer, or you are.
I have no golf talent whatsoever, like zero. Absolutely zero.
So, all right, between the three of us, I think we're a zero then. Our collective golf rating would be a zero. So if we got into a 4-man scramble, we'd have to find like prime Tiger Woods to get us through the right. Like we wouldn't be able to. Okay.
I did hit a birdie once, but it died. So dumb joke. No, I'm so bad at golf. I don't consider it a sport because I'm so bad at it, and I'm good at every sport, like I said. So.
Yeah, I came really close to a hole-in-one once. I'll tell you this: it was on a video game. Closest that I've ever come. But I'm okay. But in real life, I cannot putt, so it doesn't matter. Once I get to the green, I'm out. I will 3-putt. That's not a threat. That's a promise. I will 3-putt. But I saw yesterday Rory McIlroy lost the biggest 36-hole lead in the history of the Masters. I was surprised, that it was only 6 shots, and I was surprised that it actually took him a whole round. Listen, guys, the way that I can lose a 6-shot lead in golf on one hole, it's like that's the biggest lead ever lost. But yeah, he had the biggest lead after 36 holes ever. 6 shots. The previous was 4. A bunch of people tied with 4. But yeah, Roy. I mean, he's still there. He's still tied for the lead. But I don't know. I was like losing a 6-stroke lead. I just don't really understand how that's even a bad. I could lose that in one hole. So the fact that it took him a whole round, I thought was pretty impressive. But whatever. Leaderboard is Cam Young, Rory McIlroy. They're tied at 11 under right now. Sam Burns is right there at 10 under. And then I know TK has a little bit of a vested interest in Scotty Scheffler. He's at 7 under. He's tied for 7th right now. So there we go. I mean, that's your Masters update. That's about as good as we're gonna get. Little golf knowledge and skill is that's about it. I mean, I know that the idea is to hit a ball that sits in front of you on the ground. And somehow that seems infinitely more difficult than hitting a ball moving at 90 miles per hour to me. So I don't know. I probably can't do either one anymore, but it's okay. Let's just move on. Maybe the best thing is to move on. So, like I said, we're inching closer to the draft. We're getting there. It's going to happen whether we're ready for it or not. So we decided let's be ready for it. I think that's a good thing to be, right? Ready is a good thing. Hopefully the Browns are ready. I hope Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam's got the I don't know. I always picture it like Andrew Berry sitting in like the Browns room wherever and he's got like the red phone. Remember like the old Batman episodes where Commissioner Gordon would call Batman on the red phone. And then Andrew Berry's got to take the jar off, like answer, hey, listen, we're comfortable here at 6, thinking we're going to take Tyson, whatever. The homeless guy told me to take Johnny Manziel again. Now I know that's unorthodox, but he's been hanging around Ohio wearing Buckeyes jerseys and stuff. Johnny Manziel, maybe he's trying to get back into our good grade. Weird. I don't think he cares.
He's weird, yo. No.
He's had a weird path,
Him and Braylon Edwards are weird as hell. And I say that as I'm wearing a Braylon Edwards jersey. I wish I could rip this damn nameplate off. Hopefully we do the right thing so that I can get this nameplate removed and replace it with something else.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you've got scissors. If not, I've got a pretty sharp pair you can borrow. I mean, I would be all about taking the Edwards nameplate off of that jersey. But yeah. I was going to make a drop joke, but it's just too easy. It's right there. It's not going to do that. So TK and I yesterday, Ryan, we looked at my mock draft, my Browns mock draft, full 7-round Browns mock draft. And I just today, I think we're gonna have you break down TK's mock draft. And if we get some time, I'd like to have you look at mine and say things about it. It doesn't have to be good things. I'm afraid to say. But yeah, we can let's look at TK's mock draft. We're gonna look at it all at once. I would like to reveal this one pick at a time, and I'll tell you that I had to create this morning in Photoshop, so it doesn't look perfect. So no comments on the way it looks. Let's just pull TK's mock draft up here with the 6th pick in the 2026 NFL draft. The Browns select wide receiver Carnell Tate from Ohio State, right? So we know TK likes Carnell Tate. I'm curious to see what Ryan Mosser's big board thinks. And here's the whole draft. You see everybody is laid out in front of you. So Ryan Mosser, the floor is yours. I'm going to mute myself for like the next, I don't know, until about dinner, I think. I'm just going to let you go. I'm going to let you go and let you have TK's mock draft. It's right here in front of you. Do your thing, man.
Yeah. Okay. TK got Carnell Tate 6 overall. Carnell Tate is my wide receiver 1. He is 5th overall on my big board. I absolutely love this pick. This is the home run selection for the Browns. If the Browns don't trade back and we're picking an offensive piece, I want Carnell Tate. I've also been an advocate of maybe Jeremiah Love. That's crazy, but he's one of the best too. Maybe a defensive player. I know that's crazy as well. All these Browns fans want either an offensive tackle or a wide receiver. I would have no problem with Carnell Tate at all. I love the pick. This is exactly the type of move that, the Browns need to make if they want to fix this, offense and, finally give their quarterback a legitimate wide receiver 1. Tate is my top ranked receiver in the entire draft. And I can't say enough great stuff about it. He's a stud. He's polished. He's poised. He's a true 3-level threat who could, walk into the Browns receiver room immediately and become the best wideout on the roster. I wholeheartedly believe that. This is not a reach pick. This is not a luxury pick. This is filling a massive position of need with a player that has true wide receiver 1 upside and one of the safest, cleanest profiles in the entire class. He's a absolutely incredibly reliable separator, which is probably the biggest part of his game. He is a vertical threat despite, long speed. He's a timing based technician. He's he has very strong, confident hands. He's an unbelievable pass catcher. He's a player who can win inside, outside, at all 3 levels. This is the type of the pick, that changes the complexion of the entire offense. Why I love him. I think he's smooth. He's controlled. He is polished beyond his age. His pacing and route craft are elite for a college receiver, and that's going to translate beautifully to the NFL. His ball skills are among the best in this class. He tracks balls naturally and finishes through contact. I think he fits pretty much every modern passing concept that, could be thrown at him. He's mature, coachable, technically advanced, the kind of receiver who makes your quarterback better just by being literally on the field. And that's what we need. We don't even know if we have an actual, franchise quarterback, but you know what'll help? A true wide receiver 1. I don't. His floor is high and his ceiling is my wide receiver 1. I just think he's incredibly polished enough to contribute immediately, and talented enough to become the centerpiece of the passing attack. As far as weaknesses, obviously he's not a pure burner. I would say his play speed is absolutely more than enough, though, and that's going to translate. He's not a physical bully type either, but he's going to compete through contact. You saw that several years at Ohio State, and neither I think of these weaknesses limit his projection in the NFL. I think they just define his style, the way he is elite with pacing and route manipulation. His strong, confident hands. He's got natural ball tracking ability. He's just going to fit perfectly. I think he's going to fit the Browns because, like you said, he's a true wide receiver 1. He's a perimeter separator, a reliable target on timing routes, someone who can win outside the number, someone who can elevate the passing game, someone who can be a long-term foundational piece in this wide receiver room. Carnell Tate checks every single box. He gives the Browns a legitimate receiver 1, something they haven't had in a very long time. He fits the scheme, he fits the quarterback, and he fits the identity of what this offense needs to build. This is the type of pick that changes the direction of a franchise. When he gets to the Browns, if we're just gonna pretend like this was the draft, immediately he's wide receiver 1. He gives the offense reliable and a very high volume target as well. And is going to open the field up for the other pass catchers on the team. Hopefully Jerry Jeudy, if he can catch a ball, will be open a little bit more. Harold Fano Jr. is going to benefit from this. He's going to help stabilize the passing game and is, like I said, provides a true perimeter threat. Defenses are going to have to respect. And I think long-term, he's going to become the centerpiece of this passing attack, gives the Browns a foundational piece. He's going to provide reliability, consistency, high-end production, has the upside to be one of the best receivers in this league. I truly believe that. I think this would be a home run pick. I love the player. I love the value. I love the fit. And, I love what it does for the Browns offense. Carnell Tate, home run.
Okay, let me ask you this. I've been wanting to ask you this especially.
Okay.
If the Browns select Carnell Tate, and I love Carnell Tate. I have no problem. I don't care. 4.4 slow or 4.5, whatever he ran slow.
Right.
That's hilarious. That makes me laugh because I wish I could run a 4.5 and someone would go, "You're slow," but no. That wouldn't feel slow. The wind through my hair, that sounds amazing. Anyway, I'm dreaming now. No, so the Browns select Carnell Tate, and that to me, that's a great pick. He wasn't on the board for my mock draft, so I did not take him, but I would have. So let me ask you, what does that do to Jerry Jeudy, just psychologically, mentally, physically? Is he in? Is he like locked back in? Does he go, okay, we're doing some things to improve this offense. I'm a part of it. I'm wide receiver 2. I'm good with that. Or does that kind of like turn him off and he goes, you know what? Maybe I want out of here. I wanted to be wide receiver 1. I'm not wide receiver 1. Just the drops and things the last couple of years and the attitude don't necessarily scream wide receiver 1 or a guy that's all the way in. So does this pull him back in or does this kind of push him out? You think
Jerry Jeudy is a undeserved diva wide receiver in the NFL? I mean, he acts like he is a wide receiver 1 in the NFL, not just on his team, but in the NFL, and produces like a wide receiver 5 in his own team. Dude sucks. I could care less what he thinks. Obviously, this is a position of need because he doesn't live up to that wide receiver 1 hype, not by a long shot. I mean, I would expect him to cry like a baby and this and that, whatever. Bye. Like we're obviously taking, Carnell Tate here to establish a new kind of, chemistry and leadership in the locker room. Obviously, Jerry Jeudy's it or not it, and never going to be it. Carnell Tate will be. So either, fall in line or get the hell out. I wanted him off this team last year. I don't care about him this year,
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's totally fair. I just, I don't think that the Browns have like, amazing chemistry in the locker room or anything. It seems like it's been that way since the Freddie Kitchens days. It's always been like a divided locker room in one way or another. There weren't a whole lot of problems under Kevin Stefanski, but you just had this like disconnect on the offensive side of the ball. It just seems like guys were not on the same page. And I don't know if that's a chemistry problem, a play calling problem, a scheme problem, a talent problem. I don't know what that is. But it just, I wonder about adding Carnell Tate. And I think he's a great enough talent that I don't really care what happens with Jerry Jeudy either, but it's just a question that I think needs to be asked, or at least could be asked.
Well, I mean, they're going to take a wide receiver with one of their first 3 picks. I expect one of their first 2. So I mean, he's got to be anticipating this regardless, unless he's just that delusional. So
yeah, you never know. Wide receivers are a different bunch, psychologically they're different, so that's okay. But yeah, I just wondered about that. So let's move on to the other first round pick. You've got it right there. Again, man, do your thing.
Yeah, Caleb Lumu, 24th overall offensive tackle to Utah. He is my left tackle 2. Mm-hmm. And I think another slam dunk, man. TK absolutely killed it. Fills a massive need that gives the Browns a legitimate long-term blindside answer. I just think he's, the kind of guy you take if you want to stabilize the offensive line and finally get long-term clarity at that position, something we haven't had and we expected to have. We didn't have since Joe Thomas expected with Jed Wills. I think he could actually be this guy. Don't get me started on Jed Wills, but Lomu's my left tackle 2 in this entire draft class. He's one of the cleanest, most technically polished blindside protectors available in this draft. Getting him at 24, I think, is outstanding value and addresses one of the biggest weaknesses on the roster. Obviously, he's the definition of a high floor, high stability left tackle. He's not a traits freak by any means. He's not a raw projection, player. He's not somebody you need to hide or slow play. He's a plug and play NFL ready blindside protector who wins with technique, posture, balance, processing. Utah put him on an island constantly and he handled it like an absolute veteran. That's exactly what the Browns need. This is another slam dunk, TK. A pick that helps the team immediately and gives the offense a long-term foundational piece. Like I said, he's one of the most technically polished tackles in this class. His pass set variety is advanced, 45 jump, vertical. All of them are intentional. His recoverability is outstanding. His balance and posture are elite for a college left tackle. I think he plays calm, very composed. I never saw him panic on tape. He fits perfectly in a zone heavy or hybrid scheme. A long-term, steady blindside protector. I think this guy could be the Browns left tackle for the next 10 years. He plays like a guy who's already been in the league for two years already. So, when I talk about, his technique is NFL ready. I mean, he understands leverage, angles, half-man relationships, and how to win ugly when needed. I don't know, his set plans are deliberate and consistent. I think his balance and body control are elite. He's rarely on the ground. He stays square, maintains posture through contact. That's what's going to translate into the NFL. His recovery ability is one of the best in this class. Like, even when he loses early, he's going to re-anchor. He's going to reset his hands, and he's going to survive the rep. He's going to figure it out. It might slow down a little bit when there's the jump up to the NFL, but I don't have any, worry about that really. I think his processing is veteran level as well. When it comes to stunts, twists, late pressure, he's going to handle it with his calm, reliable, patient eyes. He's going to be nice and calm. He's not going to panic. And I think his floor is incredibly high. He's not a boomer bust prospect. I think, like I said, he's a long-term starter with Pro Bowl upside if he adds 10 to 15 pounds. I don't know. Weaknesses, gonna need a little bit more mass to handle NFL power consistently. He's definitely not a pure mauler in the run game either. I think his play strength is functional, but not necessarily dominant. But I don't think any of those weaknesses limit him, in his projection as well. For the Browns, obviously, he's going to be the perfect fit for what they desperately need. They need a real left tackle, a long-term blindside answer, someone who's going to stabilize the offense, someone who can protect the quarterback without constant help, just be reliable on an island, someone who fits the zone heavy run game. Lomu checks those boxes. He gives the Browns a steady, reliable, technically advanced blindside protector who can start immediately and grow into a cornerstone. Exactly the type of player this offensive line needs to get back on track. I don't know. I just think immediately and long term, this guy is just going to be very, very good for the Browns if he's drafted. So,
okay. Well, first of all, I'm starting to see the writing on the wall for my draft. Which is fun. I can't wait to
wait till the next pick. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. I'll leave it alone. But yeah, Lomo, I think you mentioned he's not really a mauler in the run game. I don't think you need that out of your left tackle if you're the Browns. I think you can, you've got some, they can do some things at tight end to help kind of set the edge, right? You can do stuff to whatever you can work around that as long as you've got a guy who can handle, edge rushers, right? I think that's what just really and help keep a clean pocket for whoever it is at quarterback. We don't know. Don't know. I get the feeling the Browns don't know. I feel like Todd Monken's got to have an idea of the guy he wants back there, right? But it doesn't matter. We're not going to talk about that today. I don't want to make myself even more upset about that situation. But yeah, I think you can do some things to kind of help him in the run game. You don't want to have to keep helping your left tackle in the pass rush game. I think that's the one area where you don't, like you said, you'd like to use those tight ends as pass catchers and not constantly have to have 6 guys blocking 4 to keep yourself out of trouble there. So let's move on to D'Angelo Pons, the cornerback at number 39. And by the way, TK's draft is going to look a little bit different than mine when we get to mine. If we get to mine, if we have time. But yeah, I think TK did a couple of trades. I did no trades. I went all the way straight through. I rejected many, many trades, even some that looked pretty good. Honestly, I was like, I could do 3 first round, but I didn't take any trades. So I went straight through on mine. But let's talk about pick number 39, D'Angelo Pons from Indiana, the new football powerhouse, the Indiana Hoosiers.
Yes. All right, D'Angelo Pons, quarterback at Indiana. He is my quarterback 3. Cornerbacks, not quarterback 3. Cornerback 3.
We can move him to quarterback. We do that. We take right tackles and move them to left. Right. We can move guys, no problem.
TK, I love this pick. Elite value, elite player. I think a true forward-thinking roster move. I don't mean to keep hyping up TK here, guys, but this pick would be amazing for the Browns. D'Angelo Pons at 39 is the kind of value that great teams capitalize on. He's my cornerback 3 in this entire class and one of the highest graded players on my board overall, actually. There are a lot of high-rated corners on my class, on my board. There's a lot of good corners this year. Getting him at the spot is stealing, like felony worthy. Yes, cornerback is not necessarily the Browns' biggest need right now, but that's exactly why I love this pick even more and how you build a sustainable roster. You take elite players at premium positions when they fall into your lap, and you get ahead of future problems before they become emergencies. Denzel Ward becomes an unrestricted free agent in 2028. Martin Emerson Jr. is no longer with the team. Greg Newsome is gone. We have Tyson. What's his name? I'm losing it. Tyson Campbell. Yeah, sorry. As the other corner. And we could use another guy. The depth behind the starters is thin, and we don't know the future of Denzel Ward after 2 more years. Pons would immediately give the Browns a high-end nickel field side side hybrid who can eventually become a full-time outside starter. He's the perfect long-term replacement for anyone or anyone just to fill in, and gives the Browns a young, twitchy, instinctive corner who fits exactly what modern defenses need. I love this pick. I think he's one of the twitchiest corners in the class. His route recognition and anticipation are absolutely elite. His transitions are sudden and explosive. He can erase separation before it even forms. I feel like he's just so instinctual when it comes to making up any lost movements. He's a perfect nickel field side hybrid. He plays with toughness and urgency despite his size. His instincts, I think, are incredibly special. He sees routes before they happen. This dude is like That's So Raven looking into the future, I swear. He's the definition of a snap closer. He wins the final moment of the rep every single time. I think he can identify stems early. He understands route combinations, squeezes windows without drifting, plays like he's reading the quarterback's mind. I'm not even kidding. It's fun to watch. He closes space instantly, drives, on underneath routes with violent suddenness, eliminates quick game concepts pretty much by himself. His transitions are effortless, flipped, redirect, plant, drive, all clean, all sufficient. He can process screens, RPOs, misdirection. He diagnoses everything early, and that's going to be a huge benefit for this already top 5 defense. And not to mention, he's got a competitive temperament that I think is fun. He plays way bigger than his size. Dude walks around with swagger, walks around like his chest is bigger than everyone else. He's going to tackle people. He's going to fight through contact. He is never going to concede to leverage. I think I don't know, man. I really love his twitch and change of direction too. In terms of weaknesses, his size is below the NFL thresholds. He's a little bit smaller. I think he's got limited strike radius and press. He's going to obviously possibly be boxed out by bigger receivers because of his size. But I'm telling you, that instinct, that twitch, his processing is going to compensate any size concerns anywhere. Why he fits the Browns, he's going to be a long-term plan at corner at a good pick, 39th overall. More depth at a premium position, someone who can play early and grow into a large role. He's going to check all those boxes. I really like him a lot.
All right. I'm deleting my mock draft from the media assets here.
I got it right here. Don't worry, buddy.
Take it. All right. Well, anyway. Okay. Well, okay. I like this so far. I mean, this is great, right? This is great news. If we could watch the Browns improve in this way, I think we'd all be pretty excited. Hopefully, maybe they do some things like this. Let's do one more. I'm going to move on to Eli Stowers really quickly at tight end at 70. Then we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll kind of finish through. Not that there's any problem with any of these other guys at 107 and beyond, but maybe we'll just kind of go through a little bit more. We'll go through a little quickly. I don't know. We'll try to get through. I don't want to take up too much time. But let's talk about Eli Stowers at tight end at number 70 from Vanderbilt. At least it's not Diego Pavia. I keep making the joke that the Browns are going to take Diego Pavia at 6.
Oh my gosh.
It feels so on brand, but
I wouldn't take him at 248. So
I wouldn't take him at 900, but that's fine. Eli Stowers at tight end, I think I would take at 70. I like that pick from Vanderbilt. How do you feel?
All right, guys. TK, I do not like this pick. Okay. Stick with me here. Consensus for this draft pretty much is Eli Stowers is tight end 2, right behind Kenyon Sadiq. However, he is my tight end 21, not my tight end 2. And some of you guys are going to think I'm losing credibility here, but let me talk about it. Okay. We talked about this a little bit before, probably a couple months ago. I brought him up and TK thought I absolutely destroyed him. This pick is complicated for me. Okay. Eli Stowers is one of the most unique prospects in this entire draft. He's a former quarterback, turned tight end who moves like a wide receiver and processes like a passer. The receiving traits are real. The movement skills are real. The upside is real. But here's the problem. As a true tight end in the NFL, I do not think he's going to make it. If the Browns are drafting him at 70 to play traditional tight end, inline, attached, blocking NFL edge defenders, I don't like the pick. He's my tight end 21 on my board for a reason. He simply does not have the strength, mass, or anchor to survive a full-time tight end job right now. He gets walked back by power. He struggles to sustain. He's a liability in the run game. However, if the Browns are drafting him with the intention of changing his position to wide receiver, then I am so much more open to the selection. As a wide receiver convert, a big slot, a movement weapon, he's going to be a mismatch piece. I think Stowers becomes a completely different evaluation. I think his fluidity, his explosiveness, and route intelligence all translate beautifully to a hybrid wide receiver role. So this pick really depends on the plan for the player. He's going in as a tight end. Some NFL teams are considering switching him to a wide receiver. I think that's the best bet for him to have success in the NFL.
Yeah, he's listed at 6'4", 215, right? I mean, yeah. Okay, yeah, all right.
Like I said, he gets compressed by power. He lacks lower body strength. He doesn't generate movement, struggles to anchor. He's a positional blocker, not a point of attack player. I just don't know. His frame is not built for inline work. He's just going to get beat up. If he turns into a wide receiver, I would absolutely accept this pick at 70 though. His movement skills are wide receiver caliber. He is fluid. He is smooth. He changes direction like a big receiver, accelerates with long, efficient strides. I think his route intelligence is elite, because he played quarterback. So he understands routes. He understands leverage like a quarterback, manipulates defenders with pacing, finds soft spots naturally, always wins on time. I mean, he ran a 4.5 140, which is decent for a wide receiver. That's Cardell Tate numbers. A 1.59 split. He doesn't have tight end athleticism. He has wide receiver athleticism. Okay. His receiving traits translate immediately. He got great hands, great tracking, great body control. Unless he's going to be solely a one-trick pony where if he's out there, he's going to be catching passes. Therefore, defenses can, probably account for him a little easier. It's going to be hard for him to be a tight end. So,
okay. It seems like a guy you could use in the red zone at wide receiver, right? To do some, you could get some, just really some matchup problems going on for defenses and really go to him in the red zone. No.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he'd be a great red zone asset. I mean, my whole point is sustainability. He's not going to be able to be on the field the entire time. If he can't block anybody, he's not going to be on the field as a tight end. That's just, I mean, so when he's out there, he's tipping his hat, It's going to be dependent on the plan solely. If he's a wide receiver at 70, great pick. If he's a tight end, I do not like the pick. And
do you see him as a guy that they could eventually try to develop into a wide receiver 1, or is he more of a wide receiver 2 type of player? Do you think?
It just depends. I mean, he's
he was a quarterback. I mean, like you said,
he's very smart.
To run routes and find soft spots in the zone. It seems like as a next quarterback, he's going to be pretty good at that.
Yeah, a lot of articles are saying that some NFL teams are comparing him to Mike Evans, which obviously that's hot, best case scenario for him as a receiver, but. I mean, he's a big slot. He's a seam runner. He's a motion weapon. I think he's a mismatch nightmare against linebackers. He's a versatile chess piece in spread looks.
Okay.
But like I said, he's only going to be on the field for pass catching downs. So, I mean,
okay.
That's great, but that's great, but not as a tight end. So.
Gotcha. Would he be like a guy you would want to use on like an end around? Like just get him involved in the running game. Put some blockers out in front of him, let him do his thing. Would he be serviceable with that as a wide receiver coming out of the slot in an end around or something? He's just a big guy, just like for a wide receiver. That's intriguing to me.
Yeah, he's just got to put on a little bit more mass. He's got elite movement skills for his size, so he is twitchy. His hands are great, and I think he's got good route pacing and can pace away from defenders with using manipulation with leverage. So, okay. I mean, he's got multi-lineman of versatility, so he could be lined up in different places, like you said, and his processing is probably his biggest skill because he was a quarterback. With that athletic, explosive athletic profile, he could be a very good receiver. I'm not going to say he's good ever. I don't know if he'll be a wide receiver 1. He's not even at that position right now. So, but right. I think utilized correctly, he could be a very good receiver. I just don't see it as a tight end in the NFL.
Okay. That's fair. I'm going to pull this down here just to give you guys a heads up that you're going to be on camera. But yeah, I that's an intriguing pick. I think a guy who projects up athletically as opposed to taking a big wide receiver and going, well, we'll put 25 pounds on him and make him a tight end. I feel like it's more intriguing this way, right? To move Stowers to wide receiver. This could be fun. If you get Carnell Tate with that first pick, if you're making him you're putting the weight on his shoulders to be that wide receiver one, even in a year where we don't think the offense is going to take a huge step forward. I feel like that feels like that's like moving Jed Wills to left tackle and hoping for the best, right?
Yeah.
It feels a little bit different, but yeah, if he's the secondary option at wide receiver, and you're moving him, I think that's fun. I think that's an intriguing thing. Okay. So let's do this. Let's take a break. We got through, where are we? We're pick number 70 now, where we're gonna come back and talk a little bit about Jalen Kilgore, Harold Perkins, Dejon Stribling. We'll talk about some of those guys. But let's take a break. Don't forget, coming up, we're gonna talk Cavs. We're gonna talk Cavs playoffs. But we want to get through these mock drafts because this is what's on our minds right now. I mean, we're in April. We talked about it yesterday. TK and I did. This is the Browns Super Bowl month. This is what we do. Like, this is what you look forward to if you're a Browns fan. It's like, how are we going to improve the team on paper so that we can go win 5 games on grass and turf? Unfortunately, that's the thing that we're a little bit locked into that right now. But that's okay. We're gonna get out of that. Todd Monken's gonna take us to the promised land. 17-0 season is loading currently. We can dream. We can say whatever we want. But yeah, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk more mock draft stuff. And I know sometimes it can be a little. Again, we don't know if the Browns are going to do any of this stuff, but it's fun to dream, right? We can dream on the show. So let's do that. We'll take a break. We'll be back in 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes, whatever. We'll come back. We'll talk more TK's mock draft. If we have time, we'll get to mine. It's not looking good for mine so far. I'm not sure what this means, but
I should have said I hate the other one. I just like the other one much more.
No, I like the fact that you said you hate. I'm excited. I kind of hope I get torn up on here. No, it's going to be fun. Don't worry about it. We'll take a break. We'll be right back here on the Inside Edge Network on the Sunday Sports Show. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. All right, welcome back into the Sunday Sports Show. Where'd we go? There we are. I found us. We're right here. We're with you, and you're with us, and we appreciate that. We are just we're going through TK's mock draft right now. TK Dandridge did a full 7-round Browns mock draft. Remember the draft used to be like really crazy long. What they do with all those players? I mean, there were less teams in the league and less roster spot. What they do with those guys? You got drafted and just never even reported. Like, what's that, TK? You were muted. I'm sorry, buddy.
Hell, half of them got cut before training camp started. A great deal of them didn't even get to sign the damn contract. So, I think it was wise to get rid of all them extra rounds.
Yeah.
I believe it was the 92 draft they finally wised the hell up and said, hey, no one's really watching this boring ass shit. And most of these players aren't even going to get to sniff the damn jersey, let alone put it on. So let's shrink this crap.
Yeah, you think they got him a T-shirt or something at least? Like, I got drafted by the Eagles or whatever.
Maybe a postcard with an autograph and a middle finger attached to it. Something sentimental.
Here's a card from Buddy Ryan. You got drafted, but we didn't think you were good enough, so goodbye. Oh, there you go. That's for our viewers. No, that's not for our viewers. Okay, we don't have to do that. Let's get back to TK's mock draft. Ryan, I want to hear what you think of picks. It's pretty much 104 and on right now for the Browns. Again, there was an extra one in here. I think TK got a little wild, did some trades. He did some Paul DePodesta, Andrew Berry stuff and made a trade and got wild with it. So that's all right. We like the extra picks. Let's pull this back up and we'll get into Jalen Kilgore at safety out of South Carolina.
Yeah, real quick, TK, my partner on the Commissioner Couch podcast, David, said yes to this draft. He really likes your draft too, buddy. So that's two of them.
We'll keep him on the line because I cannot wait. See what he thinks of. I'm excited for this. This is gonna be fun. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, so I didn't like Eli Stowers at 70 unless he's a wide receiver. 107, Jason Kilgore, safety out of South Carolina. He is my safety 4 in this draft. My verdict is TK kills it again. Absolutely incredible value. A perfect secondary addition. He's just TK stacking wins, guys. Jason Kilgore at 107, phenomenal value. My 4th-rate safety in this class, and getting him outside of the top 100 is exactly how you build a deep, sustainable defense. Safety isn't the Browns' biggest need, but it is a need, and TK addressed it with one of the best hybrid defenders available. I love this guy. Kilgore is the type of modern safety every NFL team is looking for. He can play deep. He can play in the box. He can play overhang. He can, match bigger slots, rotate into, 2 high shells. He can handle multiple layers on the defense. He's not one-dimensional. He's not a one-dimensional strong safety. He is a pure free safety, a true hybrid. And, that's exactly what today's defenses require. I think this is an outstanding pick. It's smart, forward thinking, and perfectly aligned with, the Browns secondary in the way they're heading. So I love, he is a fluid, explosive. He's very rangy. He can play with, controlled aggression. I think his processing is very advanced for his age. He can, diagnose routes, concepts, and run fits with maturity. Like I said, he's very versatile. He can play deep in the box, slot, overhang. He's physical and very reliable as a tackler, can disrupt rhythm of an offense. I think he is the definition of what the Browns should be looking for in this draft if they're not looking for one of those top 2 big needs. Weaknesses for this guy, I don't think he's elite in man coverage versus twitchy slots. I think he lacks true single high range. can be displaced by bigger blockers a little bit. He's definitely not a pure box enforcer, although he is versatile and can play in the box. He's not like a Caleb Downs who's going to go in there and destroy in the box, But I think he's a great safety, man. Why he fits the Browns need a long-term safety plan. Grant Delpit, we don't know the future of him yet. Ronnie Hickman was just signed to a 1-year deal. We also don't know, I don't even know I don't know the extension of his contract, but nonetheless, just signed, and he's an undrafted free agent. He's brings more versatile to the secondary. He's a hybrid defender who can rotate and disguise his coverages. Someone who can play early without being overwhelmed, I think, which would be important. He's going to check every single box and give the Browns a high rotational end safety who can eventually become a full-time starter. I love this guy, TK. Great pick.
All right. Fair enough. I think I'm looking at Ronnie Hickman is on a 1-year.
Okay, I thought it was 1 year.
Yeah, $5.8 million for the 26th season. So
yeah,
that's not bad. I'd take it to play some safety. I don't know that I would last very long, but that's okay. Okay, so you like Jalen Kilgore at 107. All right.
I do.
All right. Harold you see the grades that I'm not sure. I think TK, if you did this on, I'm not sure what you used to do your mock draft, but like I said, I had to kind of. What did you use, TK? Which website did you use?
I used a mock draft simulator. Hold on, I don't know the exact. I don't remember the exact name of the website that I was using. But
okay, it looks like PFSN though. So if I had to guess, that's probably what it is.
It's NFL mock draft database.com.
I'm wrong.
Yeah. Oh, big time over here. Okay.
I had to do the free jump because I can't be out here paying to do mock drafts that suck. So I had to do the best.
Bro, this one's beautiful. This one does not suck. So
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Well, later in the show we get to my mock draft, which sucks. But anyway, that's okay. We're gonna move on to 141. Harold Perkins. He gets an A+ from the mock draft database / everything.com, whatever. Linebacker at LSU, Harold Perkins. Ryan, it seems like good value at 141. Does this help the Browns?
I like the pick, TK. I actually quite like it quite a bit. I think he's one of the most polarizing defenders in this entire class. He's my linebacker 10. But when you strip away the noise and focus on what he is, he's not necessarily 100% what people hope to become in college, and that's why he's slipping a little bit. But you do get a young, explosive, versatile linebacker who brings real value to a room that needs more youth, speed, and playmaking ability. I have him, like I said, linebacker 10. I think getting him at 141 is worth it. He has a clean projection. He's not a traditional Mike. He's not a pure edge. He's not a full-time coverage linebacker. He's one of those modern hybrid defenders who can impact the game in multiple ways if you use him correctly. He's going to be based on a lot of usage. I think the Browns, great asset to this team next to Carson Schlesinger, next to the veteran who he signed is eluding me. But nonetheless, I don't know. I think he's a dynamic, explosive hybrid linebacker who plays everywhere. He can play off-ball linebacker. He can play edge rusher. He can do overhang defender as well. He can, guard in the slot. Even some safety-like responsibilities he can do. He's a former 5-star recruit who brings burst onto the scene as a freshman, and he with elite production and disruptive taste. He did tear his ACL in 2024, and that slowed his trajectory a little bit. But I think the athleticism, the burst, the versatility is all still there. I don't necessarily think he's a plug-and-play everyday linebacker, but he is definitely a weapon. What he does well. He is explosive and, he's very explosive and he's got great range. One of the fastest linebackers in this class, legit sideline to sideline speed, ran a 4.38 LSU's testing day. And is closing, he closes space instantly. It's amazing how he can erase angles. He's got pass rush ability. I think that's his calling card. He's got a fantastic first step, the ability to bend and dip, natural feel, for finding rush lanes, burst. He can burst through finish lanes. I don't think he's a full-time edge, but I still think he's a dangerous situational rusher. He's got playmaking production. He's got great coverage upside. The versatility is there. Where he's going to struggle is he's undersized for a traditional linebacker a little bit. Block deconstruction is something he struggles with. I mean, he struggles to shed blocks once they're engaged, and then he's got shorter arms, which are going to limit his ability to disengage a little bit. His instincts against run are a little bit slow to diagnose, I would say. And then obviously that there's that role clarity. He's not a Mike, he's not a Sam, he's not an edge rusher, he's a hybrid. Where does he play? He's going to fit the Browns just because, more speed of linebacker, more range, more versatility, more youth, a great complementary piece to what they already have and what they're looking for on that defense. He'd be a great backup, player maybe for Carson Schlesinger. I like him a lot. So
okay, yeah, he's not a Mike or a Sam. He's a Harold. Come on, man. Well, yeah, and I like the fact that you said that he erases angles. I mean, your geometry teacher is not going to be happy about that, but I think a brand new defensive coordinator coming in and stepping in and trying to fill in the role of what we've had here in the past, I think you're going to be pretty happy to see that. Yeah, Perkins sounds like he'd be a pretty good pick. I mean, the 4.3 is wild.
The fit's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, a great backup for Schlesinger. I mean, at 141, you get a role player, a guy who can probably see the field a little more with that kind of speed. Yeah, I think that would be that's a good value pick at 141.
I don't have it in front of me, but for some reason I'm thinking that he had 17 sacks in college too. I could be wrong, but that's crazy. So
okay.
For some reason that's popping in my head. So. And
you were thinking of Quincy Williams. That's who the Browns.
Yeah, Williams. Yes.
Yeah. Another sideline to sideline guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of speed at linebacker is never a bad thing as long as when they get there, as long as they can make a hit and get a guy on the ground. That's a good thing. All right, we're gonna hit our second wide receiver. Well, maybe our third wide receiver if we change Eli Stowers over. But DeJon Stribling out of Mississippi. What do you think about coming out of Ole Miss? DeJon Stribling.
All right, TK. I do not like this pick.
Oh no,
he is my wide receiver 49. I do. Oh my gosh, I do like adding another receiver after Carnell Tate, but I think we could find better value here. To be honest, I like the idea behind the pick more than the actual pick itself. The Browns need depth, they need competition, and they need to overhaul. That position with real NFL bodies. But when it comes to value, I think this is where the pick loses it for me a bit. He's a solid player. He's big. He's controlled. He's reliable at the catch point. And he brings a possession receiver skill set that can translate into a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 role, into the right offense, I think. But I have him as my wide receiver 49. And I think at 146, I just think there were better options on the board. Not a bad pick, just not what I would pick for value. He's 6'3", he's long, he's built for boundary work, smooth, controlled mover with great pacing. His ball skills are relatively strong, I would say. He can track well, and he finishes decently through contact. I think for why it's such a big disconnect for me. He's not a sudden separator. He's going to win with pacing and physicality. There's no twitch at all. Against NFL corners, that's going to limit his ceiling. I think his athletic profile is functional, but it's not dynamic. He's not explosive. He's smooth. He's not threatening. He's relatively efficient, I would say. I think his release package is not great. He definitely needs work. He can handle press with some strength, but most elite physical corners are going to disrupt him pretty often, I would say. I think his ceiling's more of a wide receiver 3 than 2. Steady, but he's not a field tilter. I like I said, I just think there are better values. I don't hate the guy. I just don't love him. And I do love the idea of the pick over the pick, though. So.
All right. Well, DeJon, if you're watching, we don't hate you. We just don't love you. You could earn your way into our hearts if the Browns draft you and you make some plays, but we just like you. We like you as a friend, DeJon. That's all. We don't like you as a wide receiver on our team. We like you as a friend, and that's okay. Gotta have friends. All right, so let's move on. It got weird for a second there. Yeah, Mason Reiger at the edge at 149. We'll kind of quickly go through Reiger, J.C. Davis, and Pat Coogan here. The last 3 picks in TK's draft. Different, well, I guess not totally different because we've got a couple offensive linemen, but edge rusher and a couple offensive linemen. I'm going to hear what Ryan Mosser thinks about Mason Reiger, J.C. Davis, and Pat Coogan.
Yeah, I might just go quickly with all 3 just to get.
That's fine. That's great.
Yeah, Reiger. He's my 36th ranked edge. The player is fine, and I understand adding depth, but I think again better value here. I think it kind. Yeah, it kind of lands in the same category as Stribling selection. I don't dislike the player. I don't dislike the idea of adding depth at edge, but I do think the Browns could have found better value at this spot. He's a tough, violent, leverage, driven edge defender who plays with real urgency and technique. He's got a decent motor, high effort, technically advanced player. Sorry, I don't know. He lacks prototypical length for me. His athletic traits are not super great. He's not very explosive. If he is, it's only in short area quickness. He is not a bend or burst edge rusher. He's going to win with technique, not traits. And I think he could get overpowered in the NFL. I think his ceiling is capped as well. I think he's just a rotational hybrid edge. I don't think he's a future double-digit sack guy. He's more of a role player, not a centerpiece. And that's fine because we don't necessarily need a centerpiece. But I'm just looking for more value at all times. So if he doesn't win early, he's not going to win either. So I just think there's higher upside here. Going on to JC Davis. TK, JC Davis is my dead last ranked offensive tackle for both positions.
Oh no.
Yeah, he gets two farts there. This is probably the first pick in TK's mocks that I genuinely do not like. I understand taking a swing on offensive line, depth this late. That part makes sense. But man, I just do not like him. He cannot handle NFL caliber speed. I think that's going to be his biggest issue. He struggles badly with wide 9 rushers. He struggles with speed inside counters, rushers who can force him to gain, depth quickly. Basically, any corner who can any defender who can threaten the corner. His foot quickness is below average. His pass sets are rigid. I think he's relatively a functional mover, but he is not fluid. And in today's NFL, if you can't handle speed, you're not going to be able to play tackle. Also, I think his lateral range is extremely limited. Backside cutoff, reach blocks, mirror and spacing, all of them are, below the NFL baseline. He's a straight line downhill gap scheme blocker. He's not a space athlete. And that I just think that's why he probably projects better at guard than tackle for me as well. His anchor's not great. His pass protection ceiling is capped. I think the Browns just need athleticism at tackle and, not another body around. And I just feel like he's another body for me. So I'm out on JC Davis.
Okay. No dead bodies at tackle. Got it.
Going into Pat Coogan, though, I love Pat Coogan. He's my center, my 5th ranked center in this class. I think this is an awesome pick. Especially at 248, exactly the type of late round swing that good teams make. A player who's significantly better than where he's drafted, I think. He fills a position of need and brings high floor where, with real starting potential, not to mention, national championship pedigree as well. He's big, he's strong, he's physical, he's experienced, obviously. Played in 2 major programs, handled multiple systems, and I think he brings a veteran-like steadiness to the interior. He's not a flashy guy, but that dude is reliable. He's 6'5", 310, 315, above average length for a center as well. He's got real power, real physicality. His anchor is one of the best in this class, and to get him at 248 would be crazy. Strong communicator. He's tough, consistent. He fits perfectly, with what the Browns want to do. Inside zone concepts, gap, duo. Very high floor. Home run pick here, TK. I love this pick here. Overall, I'd say this entire draft, TK had a clear philosophy. He wanted to fix the offense, add foundational pieces, build long-term stability, and then, take smart swings where the upside would justify the risk. And honestly, dude nailed it. This draft has identity, it has direction, it has purpose, and it makes the Browns better, dude. Hell of a draft, buddy. I love it.
My man, let's get TK in the front office immediately then. Let's can we oust Andrew Berry and get Jimmy Haslam out of any decision-making roles? He's the owner. It's going to be tough, but I think we can do it with enough support. With your support as our viewers, we can do it. So do you see any situation in real life where Pat Coogan drops all the way to 248, Ryan?
It could happen. The center position is not strong at all. I have Parker Brailsfield out of Alabama as my top center, and I have him probably as a 3rd round pick. So it just depends. But when I'm looking for someone that late, 248, I'm looking for somebody who's big, who's strong, who has he's been on, like I said, multiple programs. He's smart and he's got national championship pedigree. I'll take that dude anytime, especially at a position of need for sure. So he probably it's hard to project all this stuff until, I mean, nobody knows. So, but I mean, I'd definitely take him there. I'd probably take him at 206. So,
okay. Would you say Coogan has a high ceiling then?
Yeah.
We got a ceiling shot in TK's screen there. Sorry. All right. Listen. Okay. So overall, I think TK, your draft gets a. I stopped it before it ended there, but you get a bell, man. You got the bell. You got the ding. I tried to give you a double ding, ding. No, that didn't work. Let's do this. Let's take a break. We don't want the ding ding. We're not doing that. But we will take a break. Let's. I don't know what's going on either. TK, I'm not sure. But we'll take a quick 5-minute break. When we come back, we're going to go quickly over my mock draft. We don't have to spend a ton of time on it, Ryan. You don't have to,
I don't know how to be quick. I'll try.
That's fair. We don't have to be quick. We can do whatever we want. It's our show. We can talk about whatever we want. But we coming up, we have to talk about the Cavs. The Cavs, listen, the NBA season ends today. We got 15 games on the docket today. Anyway, it'll decide some playoff slots or whatever. The Cavs are locked in at 4. They're not going anywhere, but their opponent could change depending on a few wins, losses, whatever's crazy stuff going on. As always, that's fun, right? You want that on the NBA the last day. You'd rather have movement in the top of it, but that's okay. Most of the top teams are locked in, and that's fine. But the Cavs' opponent could change today with wins and losses and whatever else. The whole tiebreaker thing going on. But and also stop me if you've heard this before. Jose Ramirez making history for the Guardians. We'll talk about that a little bit as well as they played the Braves last night. That series is heading into tonight. That's going to be on Peacock. I don't know if it's on. Is there an NBC game of the week or is it just Peacock? Do you guys know that? I'm not sure.
Dude, it's every different channel every night. I have no idea.
I know. I don't know. I don't know how to watch baseball anymore. It's like you have to set up like a system of relays to. I don't know. It's so difficult now to watch baseball. I used to just. I mean, I grew up. This is why I'm a Braves fan. I grew up. You could turn on TBS. They were on 145 times a year because no one wanted to carry them on any other network. So TBS was like, yeah, it's fine. We'll take them. They were awful, but that's fine. They were fun to watch, and they got really good. And I feel really spoiled. I feel really lucky for that. But that's beside the point. Yeah, the Braves and Guardians will be on Peacock tonight at the very least. It'll be the game of the week on Peacock. So if you have Peacock, you should be able to watch. If hopefully they're on NBC. I'm not sure if NBC does a Sunday night game or not. I really don't know. As we said, it's very hard to watch. So we're gonna take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the Cavs and the Guardians and Jose Ramirez and all the stuff. So give us like 5 minutes on the Inside Edge Network. We'll be right back with more Sunday Sports Show. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Ryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com. All right, we're back on the Sunday Sports Show right here on the Inside Edge Network. And if you go over that way, I can't point all the way at the corner. Otherwise, I'd probably poke TK in the eye. But yeah, you can follow our QR. And I don't want to poke TK in the eye. It would be rude, even though he's probably going to light my mock draft up. Maybe after Ryan's done tearing me up, I'll poke you in the eye. I don't know. We'll see. But follow our QR code. You can that's going to take you to our website, to our page of partners. You can look at all of our sponsors, all the wonderful people that help us bring you a show, not just every Sunday, but literally every day of the week here on the Inside Edge Network. So while we're talking about it, I want to just bring up our April schedule. We got a lot going on in April. I mean, first of all, next week we have the Cavs playoff preview. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really, really looking forward to that. Hopefully the Cavs last long enough in the playoffs to make it all worth it. We'll see. We'll get into that. We'll talk about that. But yeah, tonight, main event after the show time, we got the main event with Robert Zicki, Eli Moon, and Anthony Alford. That's going to be on every Sunday night. Of course, Eli and I are with you on Monday through Thursday at 10 o'clock on Inside Edge Prime Time. Doesn't stop there. You've got Midnight Run with Anthony Alford Monday through Wednesday at midnight at 12 a.m. to 1. Late night sports talk. You can't beat it. It's a fun show. We've had a lot of fun on that show. I've been on a couple times. It's been a lot of fun. Everything else, man. Conversations with Eli Moon, Jersey Chasers, Voice of the Land is now under the Inside Edge Network umbrella. That's so much fun. The Commissioner's Couch. What's that?
I said, that's right, baby. I'm excited. Voice of Landover, Commissioner's Couch. Now I got all my podcasts on Inside Edge. It's awesome.
Yeah. You heard it from Telly Savalas. That's right, baby. Yeah, Voice of the Land. And we got the Thursday night back-to-back. Voice of the Land, Commissioner's Couch. That's fun. That was a fun watch Thursday night. I told TK yesterday I was cooking dinner. I was watching you guys. You guys did a great job.
Thanks.
Well, you guys always do a great job. I'm not surprised. We've got the Side Hustle Wrestling podcast on Fridays. Mic Check Take 2 Friday night. It's just everything takes us all the way back to Illegal Formation with TK and myself on Saturday. And I do want to remind you while we're here, I'm going to put up the link, and I want to remind you guys, if you can, please support Mentor High School's 2026 Music Mentors Scholarship Program raffle by donating. And you can go to the website right there on your screen. It's go.rallyup.com/musicmentors2026. Music Mentors is a nonprofit booster organization that serves the Mentor Public Schools bands at Memorial Middle School, Shore Middle School, and at Mentor High School. The Music Mentors organization consists of parents, teachers, and students working together to promote music in our schools. Music Mentors supports Mentor High School's Fighting Cardinal Marching Band and all of its 175 students. So 100% of the proceeds from the fundraiser are going to go toward the Music Mentors Scholarship Program, which is going to then provide scholarships for band seniors, for our band seniors. So please, again, go to the website right there on your screen. It's go.rallyup.com/musicmentors2026 to donate. And the best thing is you can win some cool prizes there too. And that's the 2026 Music Mentors Scholarship Program raffle. So please, if you can, go to the website. I'll put it back up here while we talk. Just you gotta help the fine arts, man. The students need fine arts, man. You gotta go where you're good, right? You gotta do what you love. And it's not just all sports, right? You got to have music. You got to have all kinds of stuff. You got to have a well-rounded background. It's good for college applications, whatever. It's on your resume. It's so please support the fine arts and go to go.rallyup.com/musicmentors2026. All right. Well, I'm nervous, Ryan. I mean, you told me before the show there was one mock draft that you really liked, and there was one that you didn't like so much. I think you used the word hated. I think you used the word this person should never maybe do a mock draft again. Maybe you said that, maybe you didn't. I can't remember. There were a lot of things going through my head at the time. I was very nervous. So I'm going to pull up my mock draft, and we're just going to see what Ryan Mosser and his big board think about my little mock draft, my little one-person business mock draft. Remember, I'm not the Cleveland Browns, right? I'm just one guy, Ryan, so take it easy on me. But here's my mock draft. Now, keep in mind, I know, but no Caleb Downs, no Carnell Tate. They were gone. They were gone at like 3 and 4. I panicked. So, well, first of all, with my number 6 pick, I took Monroe Freeling, and I thought I got okay value there. I see Ryan, he's kind of smiling and nodding his head. I'm not sure if it's good or bad. So I'm just going to let him go. Maybe I'll mute myself. Maybe I'll just hide and see what happens and see what Ryan thinks about my mock draft. There's a lot going on here. So, Ryan, take it away, man.
Yeah. All right. Monroe Freeling at 6. Monroe Freeling is my 3rd left tackle ranked on my big board. And the dude is easy to fall in love with, with traits. I mean, he's exactly, why Chad took him, obviously, I think. I mean, he's it looks like the prototype. 6'7", long as hell, light on his feet, builds like a modern, backside tackle every time, every team is hunting for. But, you see flashes on tape where he moves like a tight end and mirrors like a speed rusher and like it's nothing. And that's really awesome. That's why, a lot of people have him graded high. That's why I have him high, as a high end starter with one of the, highest ceilings in this class. But I also have him as my left tackle 3 because the polish isn't there yet for him. He's only played 18 college games. His hands are still incredibly inconsistent. His anchor still needs real NFL mass. And he's much more than he's much more finesse than power right now.
Okay.
You can see the long-term upside, but you can also see the developmental curve. That's probably the core of my issue with him taking him 6 overall.
Okay.
At that spot, you're drafting a guy who has to play day 1, no redshirt year, no slow ramp up, no let him, sit him behind a veteran. And, I don't think Freeling right now is plug and play. I don't think he's a walk-in starter yet. He's a projection, a very damn good projection, but still a projection.
Okay. So that's for me.
At 6, if we traded back and got him just a little later, I would be fine with it, but at 6, I just feel like the value is not quite there with considering some other guys, I would say.
I farted a little. I mean, better out than in, right? That's okay.
Yeah, I just can't justify drafting a guy at 6 who I think needs a year to develop when your franchise quarterback blind side is on the line, and then a first year head coach. I do like the player. I do. I mean, he's got a prototypical frame, one of the best movers in the class. He's got rare recovery ability, perfect for zone heavy or hybrid schemes. His ceiling is legitimately top tier NFL left tackle, but his anchor can't get walked back by power. His hands drift wide and are mistimed. He needs more strength and mass. I think he has major limitations in run blocking. He's still learning to diagnose stunts and late pressure, and that only 18 college starts. He's much more rawer than any top 10 tackle that I can think of in recent history, at least. He does fit the Brown as the need. Like I said, he got an incredible ceiling, but at 6, I just don't know if I can justify him right there. If we trade, say, with the Cowboys at 12, sure. I mean, but I just don't know at 6. So.
Okay, that's fair. What I tried to do, I tried to go need based on need, but value as well. But sure. I think this is good. This is what because a lot of people are really high on Monroe Freeling. So I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I picked him. I think people maybe need to hear this. People need to hear the breakdown that maybe Freeling isn't the knockdown, drag out for sure, pick at 6. I think that's good. All right, that's fair. Let's move on to Omar Cooper Jr. at wide receiver with the number 24 pick from Indiana.
All right. Another guy that consensus, a lot of people love this guy. A lot of people see him as a first round pick. He is my wide receiver 26. Oh my Lord, guys. Oh, this Ryan, how is your ranking? So it's not, I mean, I think he's a good football player. Okay. I think he's polished. He's smart, relatively reliable. He's got a cleaner route technician. He's probably one of the cleaner route technicians in this class. But I think he's the perfect example of why my board is built on trait translation and not production or consensus hype. I do see the polish. I see the timing. I see some rhythm-based separation, but I see a lot of limitations that cap his ceiling and make him, a pass for me at 24, I'd say. Let's see.
But profootballnetwork.com /mock draft told me I got an A-. Are you telling me I got a C+?
It's all subjective, brother, until they play. I can definitely be wrong as well. I mean, I'm just looking at the traits that I look at when I scout, and I'm basing it off of that. I mean, of course, there are always anomalies. You think Mel Kiper's always whatever. Nonetheless, why I like him, he's very polished, got great pacing, got great leverage manipulation. I think he's quarterback friendly. He's available a lot, and he's pretty tough. Also, I think his functional play, his film tape does not match his 4.42 speed that I saw at the combine. He did run fast in Indy, but on tape, he doesn't pull away. He doesn't stack corners. Safeties don't respect him vertically at all. Corners don't panic or flip early. And my system somewhat not punishes receivers, but doesn't. Okay, it does punish him. Who don't threaten defenses deep. I think he's got a very, very limited catch radius as well. I mean, his 30 and 1/4 inch arms, his wingspan 75 and 1/4 inch. That shows up on film. A lot of people are enamored by what they saw at the combine. He doesn't expand the strike zone. I think he struggles against length. I don't necessarily think he's a super contested catch winner. I think he's got a small margin for error.
Okay.
And I think that's going to also, cap his projection. He's got press coverage issues. I think he's got limited route inventory at Indiana as well. I mean, Indiana's RPO heavy system didn't ask him to do a lot. He didn't run a full intermediate tree. He didn't have to win outside the numbers. He didn't have to execute NFL style stems. He didn't have to handle, deeper timing concepts. And also there's blocking limitations as well. Like I said, he's got some strengths. He's smooth. He's got rhythmic separation, excellent pacing, but I mean, his catch radius is limited. I don't think he plays to his time speed, and he struggles with physical corners, and his route tree is not that great. So,
okay.
I do like the player. I just don't justify him at 24. So, and
well,
that might be against.
Yeah, we like you as a friend, just not a wide receiver for our team. Yeah. It's okay. Okay, so Omar Cooper Jr. is for me. That's okay. Again, better out than in. I think that's it's just fair. So let's move on to Blake Miller. No, like I said, I don't think I meant to alternate between offensive linemen and wide receivers. Right. I did. Again, just based on need, and I tried to go the most value based on what the Browns needed. In a year where I understood where they weren't really, trying to turn it around in year one, just maybe add some depth, get some guys in and just see what flashes. And, if guys don't make it until next, that's okay. But Blake Miller at 39, offensive tackle from Clemson. What do you think, Ryan?
I like Blake Miller. Good pick. My right tackle 3. I love this pick. I think him at 39 is exactly the kind of move that, you make to fix the Browns offensive line. I don't care that the team traded for Titus Howard. That doesn't change the reality that this line is, fallen apart physically, technically, and structurally over the last 2 seasons. Adding a player like Blake Miller instantly raises the floor and the ceiling of the entire unit. I think he's one of the most reliable, powerful, physically dominating right tackles in this class. I don't think he's a trade scamble. He's a plug and play, strong side ass kicker who brings real violence, real anchor strength, and real finishing ability. I think he fits the AFC North perfectly. He's big, he's nasty, he's built to move bodies. I think this is the type of pick that makes your offense tougher the moment he walks into the building. He's one of the strongest linemen in this entire class. He plays with real violence and finishes everything. He's just nasty, dude. I love his anchor. Absolutely elite. He's a downhill gap scheme monster. Very consistent, very durable. Plays with a professional edge. He also has some guard flexibility. So if you ever need that, he could pop over. High floor, high reliability. I love this dude. Great pick.
Okay, fair enough. Now I like 70 because this is where TK was. He went with Eli Stowers, and you could kind of see where we were thinking the same thing. I went with a project wide receiver, a little bit bigger guy, 6'3", 185, whatever. Not a huge guy, but a taller guy. That I thought maybe if you do get Carnell, which I did not in my draft, I wasn't able to do that. But if you got a guy who's a true wide receiver one, I thought Ted Hurst would be a fun pick here to just just throw all the noodles against the wall, see what sticks. If it's ready to go, great. If not, that's okay too. Not that you don't want to get a starter at 70, but I thought the Browns just have so many holes in the wide receiver room and on the offensive line, even though they did address that in the offseason. I thought Ted Hurst was an intriguing pick here, but I have a feeling Ryan Mosser's big board's going to tell me the truth. What do you think about Ted Hurst, wide receiver?
Ted Hurst, 70. I would not do that. Wide receiver 21 in my big board. I don't mind the player. I would not take him this high. One of those cases as well. I do like him. He's physical. He's reliable. He's tough. He brings a decently real boundary presence that a lot of receivers in this class don't have. I don't dislike him. I just want to take him. I just feel like he's not a dynamic separator. He's going to win with pacing and physicality, not burst. He's not sudden. He's more smooth. He's not explosive. I think against corners that he's going to struggle. He's not a vertical threat. He can win deep only. Usually when he wins early, he can win deep. But he's not going to scare safeties or corners or force coverage adjustments. His athletic profile, is functional but not special. I think his release package needs more work. He's got strength, but he's gonna get bullied a little bit in the NFL, I think. And I think his ceiling is capped as well. I don't like that he's a sudden mover, not a sudden mover. He doesn't separate consistently. Like I said, his long speed is adequate, but I don't think it's threatening. And his release package just needs a lot of refinement. And that's probably where it is for me. I would probably take Malachi Fields, who you have at 146 there at 107, or I'm sorry, at not 70 either, but probably 107, a little earlier than that. But I would probably switch Ted Hurst and Fields if I had to pick those two. But
yeah, I thought that was crazy low value on Malachi. They gave me a C+. Did you see that? Yeah. I was like, come on, man. What's PFSN? Take it easy, man. You're not Ryan Mosser. What are you talking about? Anyway, let's move on to Drew Shelton, offensive tackle from Penn State.
Yeah, he's my left tackle 20. Again, another guy who I probably wouldn't take this high. I think he's a developmental left tackle. He's got athleticism. He moves pretty well, actually, as well. And he's already has one of the cleaner pass pro foundations in the class. Okay. That said, I probably completely understand the logic behind the pick, obviously. I mean, the Browns desperately need help at left tackle. And Shelton fits the mold of a type of player that I'd want to bring into the building to develop, If the pick happened in real life, I probably wouldn't be absolutely mad. It does fill a major need. It does give the Browns a traits plus prospect, who can legitimately become a long-term blindside eventually with the right coaching. I just think it's a little too early for my taste.
Fair.
Why I have him so low? He's not ready to anchor against NFL power. I don't think that's going to be a thing. He needs mass. He's going to need core strength. He needs time. He's just going to need time. I think he can develop into it, but right now, obviously with Monroe Freeling there as their left tackle as a starter, him as a backup, like I said, I would not be upset with it here. His hand usage is inconsistent. I think he's a positional blocker in the run game as well. He's going to win with angles, not displacement. He's not a people mover at all. He just doesn't have the strength, I think, right now for the NFL. So
okay, all right, needs a little development. All right, let's go Malachi Field. You said you may like him. PFSN said no, it gets a C+. I said C's get degrees, but it's whatever. So at 146, what do you think about wide receiver Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame?
Yeah, they clearly gave you a C+ just because you've already taken two receivers. So they think, you probably need a different position to need here. But hey, you tripled, quadrupled. Oh, there's four there. Sorry. So
many wide receivers. Yeah.
We'll get to that. Malachi Fields, I like him a lot. He's my wide receiver 11. I love this pick, dude. I think at 146 is kind of value you make, this draft class special, the fact that he's still on the board here in the mid rounds is exactly why why you take him. He's crazy. He's physical. He's a force-driven X-receiver. He's got real size. He's got real toughness. A play style that translates immediately to the NFL. I think at this point of the draft, getting a boundary wideout with his frame, his competitive temperament, catch point reliability, that's a steal. I think he brings the Browns something that they don't have, a true X who can win with contact, handle the dirty work outside and outside of the numbers and give the quarterback a reliable, steady target in tight windows. He'd be a great AFC North quarterback. He's a true X receiver. He's got great ball skills. They're absolutely outstanding. He's got great physicality. He's going to embrace contact at every stage of the rep. He's going to dictate leverage. He's going to play with a grown man mentality, and that would be fun to watch with this Browns. I think his floor is high and his ceiling's really high too. He's probably right now a chain moving wide receiver too early, and I think that would be a great value pick right there. So.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him still available at 146. I had my eye on him a little bit because he's another big guy, 6'4", 218. I like these big guys in the AFC North. I think that bringing on some maybe developmental wide receivers later in the draft was a good plan. Bigger guys, because the red zone offense has been atrocious. I mean, so bad that they're running, double reverses, and we got Quinshon Judkins throwing ball. What are we doing, right? We don't have to worry about that anymore. That's thing of the past. Hopefully, but yeah, it was weird last year, and I feel like it just got so strange last year that I thought, let's go with some bigger wide receivers. Let's do something different in the red zone. And at 149, Bo Stevens, I feel like you can never really go wrong with Big Ten offensive linemen, especially those guys out of Iowa. They get developed at a different pace, a different rate, whatever, tight ends and offensive linemen. But how do you like Bo Stevens?
Yeah, real quick. Steven Jackson said there'll be a lot of first-round talents receiver on day 2 and 3. Yeah, this is a very, very deep class, I think, with receiver. So a lot of surprises.
Might be the only position where it's that deep, by the way.
That and probably corner, but definitely for the offense. So, all right, Bo Stevens, left guard out of Iowa. He's my left guard 11. Chad, I like the pick, especially this late. I think he's the kind of left guard that you want to target this late. He's big, he's powerful, he's physical. He's another AFC North football player, I don't think he's a perfect prospect. Obviously, he does bring a ton of traits that translate immediately in the NFL, though. I don't know. He's 6'6", 330 with a tackle size frame, plays with real power and a punishing demeanor. He's a true people mover in the run game. I think he's got a really good anchor, and pass protection is absolutely outstanding. And he can finish blocks and brings a tone setting edge, which is a lot of fun too. I think he's assignment sound and rarely makes mental mistakes, which is apparent. He's always he's pretty calm. He's like Pat Coogan in that regard. Weaknesses, I don't think he's very lateral as an athlete. He can struggle with quickness early in the rep as well. His range is going to be limited in space. He's going to need to learn to maintain his pad level a little bit more because of his height. You can see his pads drifting up a little bit. But I don't think any of those can be not coachable. They can definitely be fixed. So,
okay, fair enough.
I do like him though. I think it's a good pick.
Okay, now this was a little more of a this is a little bit of a project. Aaron Anderson, LSU. I mean, they said, okay, enough with the receivers, dude. You get a D. Stop with the receivers. We get it. You need pass catchers. Aaron Anderson's not it. He's 5'8". He's a little smaller. I thought, a little bit of a burner. He was kind of consistent for a while at LSU. Had some injury concerns, I believe. Missed some games. But I feel like I know what you're going to say. But how do you feel about Aaron Anderson? And keep in mind, it's 206. The pickings were slim, as they say.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about Aaron Anderson? Another double A. Did that for
there you go. He's my wide receiver 31. But at this point, that's fine. I think he's a good football player. He's twitchy, he's sudden, explosive in short areas. Like you said, he's a small guy, so he's got to work on, or he works with his athleticism more than physicality. I think he brings real value to a slot motion. He's a weapon. At this point in the mock, though, the fourth wide receiver being drafted, I think that's where the pick probably loses me a little bit. I don't have an issue with Anderson as a prospect or a project. I have an issue with positional value and roster math. He's a slot only, motion heavy space based receiver who wins with quickness and leverage manipulation. He's not someone who's going to play outside. He's not someone who's going to win vertically. Not someone who's going to bring a unique, enough skill to justify being the fourth receiver in a single class. So even if I do like the player, I do. The odds of him making the team are probably slim to none. Obvious weaknesses, though. Size limitations is the clear one there. They show up everywhere. He's not a boundary player. He's not a contested catch threat. Doesn't win vertically. Blocking is effort based, but he's not very functional at it. He's just a very role specific player, not very versatile. So
okay, fair. That's fair. And this is not, by the way, not the Aaron Hall from the group, the 80s group guy. This is the defensive tackle at Duke.
Oh man, I have to go back and redo my notes.
Yeah, sorry. I might have lost some people on that reference, but that's okay. I think we're all with it. But yeah, this is Aaron Hall, the defensive tackle from Duke at 248. PFSN gives me an A. Ryan Mosser gives me a.
For the 7th round, this pick's fine. I'm not going to bust anyone's balls here. Here's my defensive tackle, 42. Yeah, which means he's near the bottom of my board at the position. But for the 7th round swing, the pick is perfectly fine, I think. You're not drafting starters here. You're not drafting high floor contributors. You're drafting traits, effort, guys who might, carve out a role with developmental hits. And he fits that mold. He's a movement-based interior defender who wins with urgency, leverage, the ability to, slip blocks. He's not a power player. He's not someone who's going to anchor against double teams or control the line of scrimmage, but he plays hard. He plays low. He brings the kind of, disruptive energy that can make him useful in a rotation if he continues to grow. For a 7th round pick, that's fine.
Yeah,
he'll fit in fine. So
yeah, I wasn't looking for a starter there. I was looking for just some depth. I mean, to give some guys a rest. And I think Steve Jackson said Mason Graham has to show a big jump. I think he played okay. I think Mason Graham did a nice job. For what he was picked to be, I don't think he was ever supposed to be a big, flashy, go sack the quarterback 10 times kind of a guy.
No, he'll never be that guy.
No. But he eats blocks in the middle. He let Carson Schlesinger eat a little bit at linebacker. So, and I think that showed. I mean, Carson Schlesinger was named the Defensive Rookie of the Year. So I think Mason Graham did his job. But yeah, I agree. I'd like to see a little bit more production out of him. But I thought he had a nice year. I really did. Okay, so that's my mock draft. It's whatever. It's hit or miss. Some miss. That's okay. Like I said, I tried to go. I really didn't even intend. Yeah, well, that's okay. TK's got a high ceiling. I didn't mean to go. I'm never letting go the ceiling jokes, by the way. I didn't really mean to go that heavy on, it's funny. I alternated like wide receiver, offensive wide, whatever. Didn't mean to do that. But those were the areas of need. I mean, those are the areas of need. Yeah. I thought, let's get some guys in here. It's a developmental year. It's a wash year. I mean, a lot of people aren't expecting the Browns to go out and go 13-4 or anything like that. So let's get some guys in here. Let's just again throw all the noodles against the wall, see what sticks, see what's ready. If it's not, that's okay. You hope you don't miss on some of the earlier picks, but maybe you do. That's life. We've definitely missed on many early picks since 1999. So that being said, yeah, I mean, those are our mock drafts. I think we did okay. I think TK did a little better than I did. Just as far as identifying guys who could be long-term players and maybe starters for this team. I brought a lot of wide receivers and a lot of offensive linemen, and so we got a bunch of guys that are blocking and catching passes. That's okay.
Yeah.
Good job, TK. Good job.
Like TK's, I like the value. Yours, I like the logic. So
fair enough.
Both have good picks. So
all right. Well, that's you can tell you're a parent, by the way. It's very positive.
Oh, true.
I like where your head's at. Just the execution maybe wasn't a 10 out of 10. That's okay. Well, Ryan, and you gotta go see Ryan on Twitter if you don't already follow him at Dynasty CLE. I will just put our banner back up. He's at Dynasty CLE, and I think it's even on the screen there, so I didn't have to do that. I did a lot of extra work that I didn't have to do, like my draft. But yeah, go follow Ryan. The algorithm that you've developed to kind of to break down all these prospects is amazing. The amount of work that he puts in, come on, man, you got to go give him a follow just for that alone. So please go follow at Dynasty CLE on Twitter. And listen, we're going to take one more quick break, and then we'll do a double dose when we get back. We'll talk quickly about the Cavs and about, now it's down to it's either the Hawks or the Raptors. The Magic are out for that fifth seed. So it's going to be the Hawks or the Raptors. We'll talk about that, whether you just which matchup you guys like the best, which one makes you feel more comfortable. I'll be honest with you. We'll just talk about it when we get back. And we'll talk about Jose Ramirez making some more history when we get back here in about 5 minutes on the Inside Edge Network. Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. All right, well, there you go. Welcome back in. Again, the QR code, you see it there in the top right corner of your screen. Scan that QR code if you're watching on your TV. Follow the link, go right to our partners, our affiliates page right on our website, and you can make purchases through any of our sponsors that goes through us, and that helps us out. It helps us to, in the long run, bring you a better product. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring you the best product that we can. Much like our mock drafts, we tried to bring you a better product. And I don't know if we got it done. Maybe TK did. I did okay. I did all right. I feel pretty good. I was a little nervous there for a minute before the show. I'm not going to lie. Almost didn't show mine, but I'm okay now. I feel better. So anyway, like I said, welcome back to the Sunday Sports Show right here on the Inside Edge Network. As always, I forgot to mention, we're brought to you by LPV Productions. We do appreciate the good folks at LPV Productions for providing us this platform and just giving us a way to get to you. And we appreciate you for being with us here on a Sunday afternoon now. We've moved well into afternoon, and we got to talk. Speaking of Sundays, it's Sunday. It's the last day of the NBA regular season. 15 games today. There's a lot going on. The Cavs are locked into the 4 seed, you guys, and that's okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, after the way the season started, there was talk. We didn't even know if they were going to make the playoffs. Playoffs. It just didn't look great, right? They were so inconsistent. They didn't have any scoring. They had to go make a move. They had to go out and get James Harden at the trade deadline, which they did that for offense, right? So maybe in some ways you're better off with certain guys out there for defensive purposes, because the defense has regressed this season big time. At times they look okay. They'll have a half where the effort's really good, but it concerns me going into the playoffs. I don't care if they play the Hawks. I don't care if they play the Raptors. Okay. What concerns me is the defensive, and I know things change in the NBA playoffs. It looks different than it does in the regular season. I get it. Some would say the regular season is maybe a little bit too long. I don't know. I mean, it's 82 games. It is what it is. I struggle with changing things like that. Although I've said it before, basketball is more of an average based kind of a thing. I mean, yeah, you'd be looking at all-time leading scorers would change if we went to 60 games or something, but or whatever it is, have a great season. We don't look at the total points that often, so I don't know. Would it really be that big of a change? It's neither here nor there. We got to talk about the Cavs, and Ryan, I want to get your opinion specifically first, because TK and I talked about it a little bit yesterday. So if the Hawks win, that's it. They're in. They're the 5 seed, and it's Cavs Hawks, and that'll be locked in. Do you feel more? And then some things have to happen for the Raptors to get to the 5 seed, but whatever. Do you feel more comfortable going ahead against the Hawks or the Raptors for the Cavs, and just this quest to get out of the first round? Because it shouldn't make me this nervous, but it does, right? And it makes me feel a little uneasy. Yeah,
I mean, personally, I'd rather take the Raptors, but either way, I don't think that the Cavs are going. I'm not as nervous, man. I'm just ready. I just feel like this regular season has dragged on so long. The same narrative the last 2 seasons, and honestly, I'm just so tired of it. I'm ready to see what happens. I have faith in this team. I thought that trading for James Harden was the right move. I'm not necessarily 100% nervous about their defensive effort right now until we see. I don't know. I think that if anything was an indication of hopefully what they're going to play in the playoffs is last week that they played. I feel like they played pretty well this last week. I mean, they looked like a team that was finally, they understand urgency. It wasn't perfect this past week, but I feel like it was mature. They handled business. They closed games. They didn't let the standings slip away from them. I don't know. Mitchell and Harden are giving Cleveland something it's never had. I think, two closers. Mobley. He had a 19 rebound game this past week. Hopefully, he's looking like he could be an X factor and live up to the expectations that we all have for this guy. He's got the rebounding spike, his defensive range, his comfort to pressure release valve, as a pressure release valve, I think is, all trending upwards, and hopefully he continues that. Jared Allen's health, I think, is probably the biggest variable, I'd say, right now. When he's right, the defense has structure, but when he's not, everything becomes reactive, I think. And when they play reactive, you can get down pretty easily. So I think that the bench is not necessarily a liability anymore, especially with the addition of Keon Ellis, Dennis Schroeder, Max Strus is back. So it just, more people, more players that are back. I don't know. I'm just ready. I don't think that, this last week, at least, they didn't run from the moment. They shaped the moment. Now they're the 4 seed. They look like to have an easier path in the second round if they make it through the first round, which is something some people think we're ducking and hiding. I could care less. I want to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I could care less if we go against, average Joe's Gymnasium. I don't care. I want to, I don't want to lose in the second round anymore, man. And if the biggest fear is that, the Cavs traded away Darius Garland, a young player who's could be here for the future. But they bet that, he wasn't enough to get through that second round. We have obviously the last 2 years to attest to that. And they brought in a guy who they think can do it. James Harden has had some big moments in the playoff. He's also had some big blunders in the playoffs, but he's a much better player, an incredible facilitator. And I think this team is finally starting to get it all together, despite all of the lineups that Kenny Atkinson has tried over the past few months, despite all of the limitations with injuries, despite all of the lack of continuity with the team just not being around each other because they're all new. It looks like it's finally all piecing together, and we're just going to hopefully ride into the sunset, man. But one thing is for sure, I'm just excited it's finally here because I'm so tired of just talking about what if, so.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. The NBA it's like the regular season feels, especially after, All-Star weekend, right? It's like it feels like those last couple of months have dragged on. It's only been 2 months, but it just feels like it's taken forever. Some things that concern me, and we'll have more Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. Our Cavs preview show will take place of Inside Edge Primetime. And also, don't miss that, by the way. Cavs radio voice Tim Alcorn's going to join us on that show, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to that.
That's really cool.
Things that concern me are the Celtics, right? You're going to have to play I think the Cavs match up a little bit better against the Pistons. Maybe if you get the Celtics eventually, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum winning, I don't know, I think it's like 13 out of 19 playoff series that they've played together. That concerns me. Those are two guys that know how to go out and win a playoff series. The Cavs have shown the propensity to win a first round series, and that's okay. But hopefully this, like you said, Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, that combination of Jared Allen's knee is healthy. We'll see, what he brings in the first round. I don't know if he's playing today. I'm not quite sure. But I just want to see Evan Mobley. At one point, the expectations were sky high for Mobley. Right. And we really just want him to be, that 2.5, that third option in the offense, whatever, depending on who's on the floor, you'd like to see him score. But 19 rebounds is great. He's a good defender, great defender, right? So just you want to see him continue to grow. There are a lot of concerns for me. The defensive effort is one of them. The lack of a real, lineup rotation. I don't know. It just makes me feel a little uneasy going into even in the first round. It makes me feel uneasy. So we'll see. I think the Cavs are much better than a 4 seed right now. But this is where they are thanks to the tough start. So you've got the 4 seed. That's fine. Handle your business, win, and move on, right? Get out of the second round. We want to see them in the Eastern Conference Finals. So,
you talked about Boston. I mean, playing them is most likely inevitable at some point. So I just rather do it later. There's more variables that can happen. I mean, obviously on both sides, but later than the second round. So,
sure, yeah, I get it. I understand. You said it though. A lot of talk of just ducking and diving teams. I don't think that's the case at all. I think you play who you play, whatever you play. Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Anyway, well, that's fine. Like I said, we'll have more Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. It'll take the place of Inside Edge Prime Time. We'll have your Cavs playoff preview. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be myself, Anthony Alford, Eli Moon, and David Ruiz. So we're really looking forward to that. This is the final segment of the show. We're almost done. We're almost out. It's been almost 2 hours, guys. It's crazy.
I feel like I've talked for TK the whole time, man. I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. TK won the mock draft, so he didn't have to talk. He did. TK talked with his pick. That's what he did.
I did a little something like this.
And TK, I'm going to go to you for this one. Guardians beat the Braves last night, 6-0. I've been saying I would not be surprised at all to see the Guardians take 2 or 3 from the Braves. A lot of people, hit me up on social media because I commented and said, "Hey, man, that didn't go well." Yeah, it's fine. I mean, Friday night didn't go well, but they shut the Braves out last night, 6-0. I think more importantly, really good. Just a huge thing as it becomes the first guy in Cleveland history to have a home run against every other team in the major leagues. That's amazing. Yeah, that's longevity. Yeah, you're sticking around for a while, but that's also being a pretty good ball player. But yeah, they beat the Braves last night 6-0 behind Parker Messick. First of all, TK, do you think Parker Messick looks like he might be the real deal for the Guardians? I mean, he kind of emerged, I won't say out of nowhere, but one of these guys that's like the Guardians develop pitchers better than maybe anybody in the major leagues. Parker Messick looks like he might be the next really, really good one.
Yeah, I definitely thought he played well in 6 1/5 innings. Only gave up 4 hits. And of course, we went right with the shutout, which was refreshing. Obviously, one night after surrendering 11 runs, and then you come in and you don't give up any. That's definitely a refreshing sight to see. I think Parker Messick is a guy that we're going to have to pay close attention to, especially with the rate that Logan Allen has been getting his tits sent to Mars on a regular basis. But besides all that,
video courtesy of NASA on that, by the way. Oh, sorry, never mind.
But yeah, I definitely think Messick has a chance to be one of our aces in the hole. He could possibly be the hottest one of them right now. Not going to ordain anything too early into the season. Yeah. Not much you can say after 15 games, especially when there are 147 more left to go. So we're going to be patient with this, but I do like this Parker Messick kid a shit ton. And hopefully, this can be a significant part of not only our bullpen, but our starting rotation as we get deeper into the season. We'll see how things go along by the All-Star break.
Yeah. Speaking of the bullpen, bullpen looked great last night. Shut the Braves down completely. I mean, shut them out. Zabrowski came in, Armstrong, each struck out a couple of guys in an inning of work for each of them. So not a whole lot to really talk about for the Braves. I'm looking at the box score. Chase DeLauter 1 for 4 again with another RBI. Just kind of quietly continues to hit. I mean, not a bunch of loud home runs in the last couple of games, but he's hitting well. Rhys Hoskins went 0 for 4. I'm keeping an eye on Rhys Hoskins because I think he's kind of the X factor for that lineup. Now, okay, so I did look at it's only on Peacock tonight. So if you have Peacock, which I do, I can watch the Braves. Hey. And the Guardians. I like the Guardians. I told you guys I don't root against the Guardians. I have no problem with the Guardians coming into Atlanta and taking 2 or 3 if that's what happens, right? Obviously, I want the Braves to win tonight. I am a Braves fan, but if the Guardians win, I'm not going to be upset about that. I like Cleveland. I like what they're doing. Stephen Vogt is I don't know if anybody does more with less than this franchise over the past 10 years. It's absolutely amazing. Not a whole lot of financial support from ownership, but that's okay. It is what it is. That's the situation. So they develop. By the way, I still keep an eye on Cal Steven. I haven't really kept up on his numbers in the minor leagues, but that trade, he's the piece they got back for that in the Bieber trade. Yep. He intrigues me. Just his numbers, some of his measurables were off the charts in AA. I know it's AA, but you still have to put up good numbers, right? You still, when you pitch like that, it shows. Excellent control guy. Again, kind of a fastball slider guy. That's the Guardians. That's their bread and butter. That is their wheelhouse. So if they can get him up, maybe by the end of the year, he gets a couple of starts. Who knows? Might not be quite ready yet. But he's an intriguing prospect anyway right now. Not a lot of people talking about him, but I'm intrigued. So keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on Cal Steven. Ryan, any thoughts tonight? Braves, Guardians. I mean, any feel for how this might go? I don't know. Anything, man? Got anything?
I mean, this is the tone setter for the entire road trip, right? I mean, I think Bybee doesn't need to throw a shutout. He just needs to avoid, the early avalanche that buried Cleveland in game 1. Atlanta punishes pitchers who fall behind. So, first pitch strikes and quick outs are the entire blueprint, I think. Offensively, Cleveland has to treat Max Fried as the same way as they treated Smith or Scheuer. Grind them, spoil the put away pitches. You need to.
Max Fried's in New York now. Sorry.
Who's starting tonight? Am I crazy? Was it Fried?
Yeah. Chris Sale.
Oh, it's Sale. Well,
yeah, Fried's in New York. Fried's with the Yankees.
Why did I?
You hurt my heart there. I don't know what happened. You hurt my heart.
Sale. Disregard. They're just gonna have to spoil the put away pitches, extend innings, force Atlanta to go into the bullpen early.
Which hasn't been great.
Probably earlier than they want. Yeah,
not great.
Yeah. A series win in Atlanta is the kind of thing I think that carries. Into next week. A loss sends you home feeling like you left something on the table, and like it says right there, neither Cleveland or Atlanta have lost a series this season. So, it's a little bragging rights here. I know it's a lot of games this year, but still to continue that would be cool. So,
last 2 teams in baseball already.
Why did I think Fried?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I wish we had Max Fried. I don't know why they didn't pay him, but the whole knock on Fried was the fact that, well, in October he's going to get a blister, he's going to miss a start or 2. Meanwhile, we have 60% of our starting staff on the IL to start the season. So neither here nor there. Whatever. The Braves just don't really spend money on pitching. That's fine. I get it in the long run, but they are not really a small market team. So I think you can afford to take a gamble on a couple starters here and there. Whenever they like to acquire them in a different way, it's fine. I get it. Do you think this, if the Braves, if the Guardians do take 2 or 3 from the Braves, do you think it does anything to finally earn them a little bit of respect in all the national power rankings? I mean, they're like bottom half of the league, and they're in first place. They haven't lost the series yet. They keep playing all these they had a really tough road trip to start the season. The Mariners and Dodgers went out there and handled their business. They're handling their business in Atlanta right now. If they win tonight, they'll take 2 or 3. Do they finally get some respect in the power rankings, you guys, if they win?
Probably not, but I don't think that matters. I mean, the thing that matters is these young guys go out there and play naive and hit the ball. And these pitchers are freaking nailing it right now. I mean, the bullpen is electric. So just keep going out there and playing Guardians ball, man. One thing is for sure. Like you said, Stephen Vogt has been handling these young players and having relative success without a lot of money invested in the team and a lot of star power outside of Jose Ramirez. So the fact that they continue to do that, let them keep going. Who cares what the national media says? It all matters in October anyway. So
fair enough. Yeah, I think we I'm not like the Guardians aren't my main team, but I think we all panicked a little bit when Francona left, right? And then it hurt when he took the Reds job. It's like, well, why would you, but I think it hurts a little bit less seeing what Vogt has done the last couple of seasons and seeing, the start that they're off to this year. I think that helps. It helps soften the blow a little bit. So, all right. Well, guys, listen, that is our, I didn't realize. Hold on. We're going to remove one TK and we're going to add another. I did not know you had a twin brother. I did also name TK. That was amazing. We had 2 TKs in the studio at one time. That would have been fun. Anyway, TK, you came back just in time. We're going to get out of here. We appreciate you guys. Again, I don't know, Braves, Guardians tonight. You got the Cavs, Wizards today. You can watch some of the other scores to see who the Cavs are going to play. If it's going to be the Hawks, if it's going to be the Raptors. Definitely not a first round bye. I've said it. Makes me a little bit nervous. I missed the second LeBron days, those 4 years where we, 4 trips to the finals, and the first round was a foregone conclusion. It was like, okay, are we going to sweep or win in 5? And now we don't know. We don't want to see this first round go 6 or 7 games, though. That would make me nervous going on. So a lot going on. Again, a ton going on in the Inside Edge Network. We appreciate you guys. Please follow us at Inside Edge Net. We're on all socials. If you're watching this and you're tuned in, almost 200 people in here now. So again, if you're here, you're probably, you might be following one of us or a couple of whoever. Give us a follow. Give us a follow at Inside Edge Net. Follow us individually. We try to bring you as much sports coverage as we can. Mental health, entertainment, everything in between. We got some mock draft stuff going on. We got some. Ryan was the teacher today. He gave us grades. I thought that was fun. I think TK and I. Well, I got it was a shaky. Yeah, I got a degree.
C+. I'll give you that.
Fine. It's fine. I'm walking. I'm going to graduate. TK got a resounding
A plus.
That's
Yeah.
a bigger ding. It's the same sound, but it was a bigger ding. It's fine. So again, we're gonna get out of here but really quickly. Before we do, we're gonna hear from our friends at Dubby. And again, you see our QR code up in the top right corner. Please follow that. It takes you right to our affiliates page on our website. You can purchase anything through their websites right through us, and it helps us bring you better content in the long run. So let's hear from Dubby, and then guys, we're gonna get out of here. We appreciate you. Have a great Sunday. Have a great week. We'll see you here next weekend. TK and I will. TK, Ryan, and I'll see you next Sunday, and then we'll have all
Real quick, I'm sorry. I just wanted to plug my son James is in the Ranger Rig competition.
Yes,
For the Junior Ranger competition. I've been tweeting about it. You can go on there. Please, if you could, he's made it through the first round. They took the top 20 in his section, so now they're going to take top 15. He's ranked 3rd right now. If you could go on my Twitter, I'll tweet it right now at DynastyCLE and vote for free. You get 1 vote for free a day. I'd really greatly appreciate it. It goes to a great cause, and it could open up some great opportunities for my son. He's a huge animal lover. So at DynastyCLE, please, I'll retweet it right now. Go in there and vote for me. I'd really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm glad that we're not going to tell you what's on our minds this week, because I think the mock draft was on our minds. That's so we'll get back to that next week. That's been a fun one to kind of get some stuff off our chest, off our brains a little bit. So guys, I'm sorry. We'll get back to that next week. But yeah, Ryan, thank you for saying that. I've been really enjoying the videos, man.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's awesome, man. Just to see the passion and the knowledge, and just the delivery, the execution.
Yeah,
he's got it all. He did way better on his animal videos than I did on my mock draft. So it's so much fun to watch.
Check it out at DynastyCLE on Twitter, please.
Yeah, please help him out. It's a great cause, and it's again a lot of fun. So let's hear from our friends at W, and then we're gonna get out of here, guys. Have a great Sunday. Clean energy, bold flavors, no jitters. See why people won't shut up about W. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 absolute fire flavors to choose from. Visit W.GG and use promo code InsideEdge10.